I want to welcome you to the Ask Jeff YouTube channel. Here's today's question. In Matthew chapter 12, Jesus, referring to himself, says someone greater than Jonah and Solomon is here, but you refuse to listen. Then there's Matthew 12, 43 through 45. Can you explain these verses and how they fit in the context of the chapter? Well, as often we find ourselves in the Gospels, there are those that are contrarian to Jesus. They're flat rebellious against him. They refuse to believe who he claims to be, even though he's walked on water, he's multiplied the food, he's healed blind people, even though it be on the Sabbath day. And yet what happens? He says there is one greater than Jonah and there's one greater than Solomon. Now there's two reasons for doing so. Solomon obviously was not only in the role of a king, but he was known as the wisest of all. So he's declaring himself to be even greater than Solomon. The Jonah character is what's important as was mentioned in the question, verse 43 through 45, because Jesus says there's only one sign that he's going to give humanity, as Jonah was in the belly of the whale 3 days and 3 nights. So he, the Son of Man, will be in the heart of the earth 3 days and 3 nights. And so when he speaks of that allusion to Jonah as one who was called by God, on mission by God, who, according to Jonah chapter 1 and 2, spent those 3 days and 3 nights, not as the movie Pinocchio in a whale's belly, but according to chapter 2 of Jonah, it says in hell, or some of your Bibles will say Sheol, the place of the dead, he cried out. Then obviously 3 days later, he's alive going to Nineveh. Jesus basically says, you want a sign? You put me in the ground or tomb. In 3 days, I'm going to walk out again. Basically what he was doing, and we see this all throughout the ministry of Jesus Christ, is these people, they revered Moses. And he said, man, I'm greater than. They revered Abraham. He said, before Abraham was, I am. They revered Solomon. He said, I'm wiser. They revered Jonah. He said, guess what? I'm going to come back from the grave. And the frightening thing to me personally, not just in its historical context, but even today, is all these stories line up to say there is none like him, there is none beside him, and yet humanity continues to find excuse after excuse after excuse not to believe in him. Jesus Christ died on a cross, rose from the dead. Nobody else has pulled that off. Why would you, I, or anybody not believe? Great question. If you have one, send it to AskJeff.net. Maybe your question will be tomorrow's. Thanks for being a part of today's daily question. Now, we answer a question each and every day. Please feel free to submit a new question at AskJeff.net. We may not have gotten to yours today, but we eventually will continue to be a part of this. Subscribe so you don't miss out on a question every day.